Hello friends, I am here today to show off our brand new novel study. I don't know if you can see my shirt. It's kind of a clue from a slightly different book, but the same theme. It's on The Hobbit. I'm so excited about this novel study. So if you've been following Rabbit Trails for any amount of time, you know that I do not personally write every single unit that we put out. I've written a lot of them. I've not written close to all of them. This one is one of my babies, and so it makes me even more excited because, of course, I'm the one that read the book and found the ideas and came up with the vocabulary and all that kind of stuff, and so it just makes me a little bit more giddy than some of our other releases, not because they're not awesome, because they are, but just because it's fun when it's my own writing that we're releasing out to you guys. So it just makes me excited, and I love The Hobbit. I love The Lord of the Rings, all of those books. I used to not think of myself as like a Hobbit nerd or anything like that, and now I love it. Reading through it again as an adult has brought forth like a whole new appreciation for it. So super pumped. So get excited with me. I'm going to show you what books that you need. I'm going to show you inside of a lesson, our companion journal, our scripture cards, everything that you can get to go with this new unit. So let's get started. So first of all, there are two books that you need. One is obviously The Hobbit. It does not matter what version of the book of The Hobbit you have. They are all written the same. I have one, I think it's from like the 80s or something, that was like from our high school that they were getting rid of books, and my husband acquired it and now it is mine. It's falling apart. It has this really horrible picture of Bilbo Baggins on it. I also have this beautiful, I don't know if you can see like the shining that's happening on there. It's so pretty. This is an illustrated version. Let me show you a little bit inside of it. It is just amazing. So cool. If you have kiddos like mine, they still very much so appreciate illustrations inside of their chapter books. This is a really cool version to get. So just really, really cool. So, and obviously the cover's just gorgeous with the gold on there. Beautiful. And it's like cloth. It's just totally worth every penny. So the other book that you need, there's only one other required book, and it is John Ronald Dragons. And it is obviously about the author, J.R.R. Tolkien. So this will go with the first lesson because in most of our novel studies, we try to have a lesson on the author because it just gives you a little bit of background into who is writing this novel that you're about to dig into. This book is also beautiful. The illustrations are just like, holy moly. They're so good. I love it. And it just makes me happy. Just some of that stuff coming to life. So cool. Let me see if I can find the one. There's a dragon one. You can see it on our website. Here you go. Oh, I love it. We use that one with one of our promotional pictures on the website. So you guys will see the beautiful dragon picture when you open the webpage that I'm going to have in the description for you as well. So inside of this unit study here, let me get my computer back open. So this is written for middle-aged learners. And what that means is it is written for about 4th through 8th grade. Just like any of our other rabbit trails, you make this work for you and your family. So if you have a 3rd grader and you're like, oh no, I have a 3rd grader, but I also have a 7th grader and I'd really like to use it for both of them. Totally fine. You can just leave out some of the things, like if there's research or stuff like that, they don't have to do the research in 3rd grade, right? Like they can read all the beautiful picture books that go along with it, where maybe your 7th grader doesn't want to read all of the picture books that go with it. You use those for your younger kiddo. They can still do copy work. They can still learn the language arts concept. They can still do the hands-on activities. They can still get so much out of it, even as a younger kiddo who may not be 4th through 8th grade, if you have an older kiddo that you're doing it with as well. So make it work for your family, just like all of our other rabbit trails. So there are 14 lessons in this curriculum, which means it is a 28-week curriculum. So you can use this for a full school year for your actual language arts. So all of our novel studies are meant to have the book read throughout a year. You can choose to do it as your actual language arts and have that be all that you do for language arts, Or you can do it alongside if you have another language arts that you like, but you want to do a novel study, do it along with it. But there are going to be language arts concepts that they are learning throughout it. So the 14 different concepts they're going to learn is the first lesson is obviously, like I said, is about Tolkien himself. Then it's about conflict, myths and epics, bias, cliffhangers, imagery, storytelling, character, symbolism, independent and dependent clauses, personification, metaphors, semicolons and colons, and prequels and sequels. So you're gonna go all over the place in language arts throughout this unit study. So it's really cool. It's just, we did this with our co-op last year and it was so much fun to do it with a group of middle schoolers. Was like so amazing. It was so awesome. We really, really enjoyed it. So if you head to our website, you will see a sample lesson. You will also see a sample schedule. So inside of any Rabbit Trails curriculum, you are not going to see a schedule inside of this because I don't want you to feel tied to a specific schedule. Everyone's homeschool looks different. Everyone's schedule looks different. So with the sample schedule, it will show you how you can lay out one lesson over 2 weeks. And then you can do with that what you will. If you want to lay it out exactly like that, if you want to see, okay, well, she has 2 things on this day and 2 things on this day. If I only want to do it this many days a week, I can clump those together into one day, however you want to do it. If there is a rabbit trail that your kiddo is super excited about and you keep going down, have it take longer. If you want to jam through this in a half a school year, jam through it in a half a school year. That's why I don't put a schedule, so you can make it work for your homeschool. So let's look inside of this and I can show you what a full lesson looks like. So if you are familiar with Rabbit Trails, this will look like every other unit that we have as far as the layout. If you are not familiar, then this is what everything else that we have that is an actual unit study. We have a couple journals that aren't like this. Everything else is laid out the exact same way. So first and foremost, you're going to have a lesson. So with the first lesson being about Tolkien, obviously this lesson is telling you about the author. This is where there will be the language arts concepts will come into play here that I listed off. So that's where you're going to see those is in the lesson portion. There is copy work with every lesson. So there will be a quote from the book here. There will also be a Bible verse for every single lesson as well. And then at the bottom here underneath the Bible verse is just a little Bible lesson to tie in that verse to the actual lesson or what happened in the story. Something like that. So just to tie it all together so it's not just a random Bible verse there for no reason. So that they're able to, you know, put that into thoughts and into mind for what's happening in the story. There is also our section called Some Fun. This is some type of hands-on activity. This specific one is making a picture. Sorry, it's reading the book. Obviously, I haven't done this since the fall, guys. You didn't give me a minute to go back through it. So picture based, so they, my specific class, I had do a cover of what they think the Hobbit, you know, what they would have for a cover picture. So this is to make a picture book specifically. So this is the cover because obviously in a co-op setting, we have a little bit less time. So you can see the really cool picture that one of my kiddos made in my class. They let me borrow it for a picture. I was so excited. So that was a very fitting picture just based on what they knew from that first lesson. We also, let me open this up. We have a 2-page spread here for our Rabbit Trail section. And so this will have more books you can read to go along with different themes that are happening in the story. There's also a video here, and this one's really cool because the videos for this unit are about the different like mythical creatures and people and all of that, the characters from the book, because there's so many different kinds. There's hobbits, there's dwarves, there's wizards, there's Gandalf specifically, there's Gollum specifically, there's all of these different things. So that's what those videos are about. So they can kind of go down that rabbit trail into the Tolkien universe and learn more about these things because it is like a whole culture almost. Like it's pretty crazy. And I actually really enjoyed watching these videos because I pre-watched the whole videos, right? Because especially with it being something like The Hobbit, I wanted to make sure that this wasn't a video like geared towards adults. Not that anything in The Hobbit is like super inappropriate, but you never know what you're gonna find on YouTube. And so guys, when I would watch these videos, because some of them are a little bit longer, I would like get my coffee, I would get a snack, and I'd put in my earbuds, and I would just like, I became such a geek. It was crazy. Like I was really loving these and like really enjoying my time pre-watching these. So just kind of neat. And so if you have a kiddo who's super into this, they're gonna love the different videos to watch. And then of course we have our library list, and that is just more books. So none of these books here are required reading. The only two books that are required are The Hobbit and John Ronald's Dragons. Those are the only two books you have to do this unit. All of these are suggestions to go further down the rabbit trail, all right? So last but not least, we have our More Ideas section. So I'm actually gonna flip to a different More Ideas section because the first one is slightly different than the rest of ours. So in this More Ideas section, you are gonna find vocabulary. Tolkien uses such amazing vocabulary that I wanted that to be a part of this lesson. And so every single lesson will have a handful of words that they can use, get out their dictionary, and some of them are even made up words that Tolkien made up himself. And so I included some of those as well, just because he's so descriptive. I love it. And then there can be all kinds of different stuff here. There might be more hands-on activities. There is a writing assignment in every single one, just something short. It doesn't have to be something super long, but I wanted to get my kiddo writing, so I made sure to put a small writing assignment. There is poetry by Tolkien listed in every single lesson. This one has a conflict chart to go through. It has an idea for a hands-on activity. It has a baking activity. You're gonna find all kinds of different stuff listed here. So that's, again, to take you further down that rabbit trail, to go further into language arts with that writing and vocabulary, and just to have fun with this unit. So we also have a companion journal to go with all of our units as well. And so we created these because, yes, you can use any notebook that you have in your home, 99-cent notebook from Walmart, if they're even that cheap anymore, I don't know, maybe at back to school time. But we wanted a companion journal so that you have a space for everything, so that you don't have stuff all over the place like I used to have before we used these. So let me walk you through what this looks like as well. So for every lesson, you're gonna have a place for the actual lesson. So if it gives you a prompt to do something, there is a space to do that. There is a space for you to write down the copy work. There is a space for you to write down the Bible copy work. And then there's a spot, if you want to write down anything that you learned from any of the videos, there's a spot there for you to do that. There is a spot for you to write down anything from any of those picture books that you can write, any cool stuff you learned about those. And then if there's any type of charts, any type of writing, anything like that, it's all going to be found in here for you so that you don't have to create it yourself, especially for charts and maps and different stuff like that. It's really, really handy because we've pre-made it all for you. And then, like I said, if there's any writing assignments, there's a page for that. A page for this is for a drawing project to do. It's all in there for you in one spot so that you don't have to make stuff up yourself, and you don't have to have stuff all over your house and lose assignments and stuff like that. And it's all in one convenient location. So we have these to go with all of our units, and it's just a really awesome addition. We also have, which I did not print off the top. Oh, yes, I did. We also have really beautiful scripture cards. So like I said, every lesson has a Bible verse to go with it. And so we made these cute scripture cards that you can get to go with it. And they're all little themed. There's those trolls. There's one with Bilbo and one with a hobbit hole. And so you can get these scripture cards to go with the unit as well. And we did recently team up with Homeschool Printing Company, and they will print all of this stuff for you, which this is still on paper. They have cardstock that I have over there, and I thought that's what I grabbed. I grabbed just paper ones because I didn't have my beautiful printouts when I made my pictures for the website yet. They print these on cardstock, $4 a page, so they're about that same size. You can see size, compared to my hand. And then these are all from there as well. So they're all bound, and they have the clear plastic cover for it, and they're just gorgeous. Like, I love the printing jobs that they do, and that's what this is also. And so it's nice thick paper. So we've teamed up with them. If you order anything from our website on the order page, it has different things on top where it says make sure to grab your downloads and stuff like that. It is also linked there to go to our special order page, because if you order through our special order page for any Rabbit Trails product, you get expedited printing. So that means they will print your stuff within 2 business days so that they can send it out to you sooner. When, like right now, especially in the summer, their turnaround time can be like 2 to 4 weeks. It can be really, really long because obviously people are buying and printing stuff like crazy to get ready for the new school year, right? So if you go through our special order page, I have it like on the sidebar, I have it on the bottom of like our homepage. Like I try to place it in multiple places so you guys can easily find it. But yeah, you can get that special fast printing to get all of your rabbit trails to you sooner, which is super exciting. So I love that we've been able to team up together and do that to get you guys your stuff printed, because I've been using them for years and years and years. And I finally was just like, we should make this easier for all of you. So if you are interested, you can go to the website in the description, check out more about everything that I already told you about, see that sample lesson that I walked you through, get all of the details through this Sunday. Let me look at the date. I believe it is the 29th. Yes, June 29th, 2025. Through that day at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. If you use the code HOBBIT20, HOBBIT20, you can get 20% off of this brand new unit. So make sure to go grab it now while it's still on sale. And we just released Charlotte's Web a couple weeks ago, and we have a whole language arts sale through the end of this June. So just through Monday, the 30th, so one day longer. If you use the code LA15, LA15, you can get 15% off of any of our literature or novel studies. So go ahead and grab those while they're on sale. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Guys, this is such a cool unit. It is so good. I had so much fun writing it, and so I'm just really pumped for you guys to be able to use it in your homeschool too. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions or how excited you are too, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.